Hi everyone! Today we're talking about gerunds and infinitives. These grammar concepts might sound confusing, but don't worry. They're actually quite simple once you understand how they work. In English, we can use verbs in different ways. Gerunds and infinitives are two special forms of verbs that can make your sentences more interesting and varied. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify gerunds and infinitives and use them correctly in your own writing and speaking. Let's get started. A gerund is easy to spot. It's simply a verb with ing added to the end, like swimming, reading, or listening. What makes gerunds special is that they act as nouns in a sentence. Remember, nouns are the words we use to name people, places, things, or ideas. For example, in the sentence "swimming is my favorite sport," the gerund swimming is the subject of the sentence and refers to the activity of swimming. Gerunds are versatile and can be used in various ways within a sentence, just like regular nouns. We'll explore their different functions in the next section. We can use gerunds in several ways within a sentence. Gerunds as the subject of a sentence. For example, eating vegetables is good for your health. Here, eating vegetables is the subject of the sentence. Gerunds as the object of a verb. For example, I enjoy reading books. In this case, reading books is the object of the verb enjoy. Gerunds after prepositions. Prepositions are words like in, on, at, before, and after. We can use gerunds after prepositions. For example, she's interested in learning Spanish. Here, the gerund learning comes after the preposition in. By using gerunds correctly, you can add more detail and variety to your writing. Now, let's move on to infinitives. An infinitive is formed by using the word to followed by the base form of a verb. For example, to swim, to eat, or to listen are all infinitives. Unlike gerunds, infinitives can function as nouns, adjectives, or adverbs in a sentence. This versatility makes them an important part of English grammar. In the next section, we'll take a closer look at the many ways we can use infinitives in sentences. Section 5. Different ways to use infinitives. Let's explore the different functions of infinitives in sentences. Infinitives, which are the base form of a verb preceded by to, can serve various roles in English grammar. They can act as nouns, adjectives, or adverbs, making them incredibly versatile. To express purpose, infinitives often explain the reason for doing something. This is one of the most common uses of infinitives. They help to clarify the intention behind an action. For instance, I went to the store to buy milk. In this sentence, the infinitive to buy explains the purpose of going to the store. It answers the question, why did you go to the store? Here, to buy milk explains why the person went to the store. This use of infinitives is essential for providing clarity and context in communication. After certain verbs, many verbs are followed by infinitives such as want, need, decide, hope, and plan. These verbs often indicate a desire, necessity, or intention. For example, she wants to learn French. In this sentence, to learn follows the verb wants and indicates what she desires to do. As adjectives, infinitives can describe nouns. This use of infinitives helps to provide more information about the noun they modify. For instance, I need a book to read. Here, to read describes the kind of book needed. It specifies the purpose of the book. In this sentence, to read describes the kind of book needed. This use of infinitives as adjectives can make your sentences more descriptive and informative. As adverbs, infinitives can also modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. They often explain why something is done or the manner in which it is done. For example, I'm too tired to cook. In this sentence, to cook explains why the person is too tired. It provides a reason for the state of being tired. Here, to cook explains why the person is too tired. This use of infinitives as adverbs can add depth to your sentences by explaining reasons or conditions. Understanding the different functions of infinitives can significantly improve your sentence construction. By mastering the use of infinitives, you can make your writing and speaking more precise, engaging, and effective. Whether you are expressing purpose, following certain verbs, describing nouns, or modifying verbs, adjectives, or adverbs, infinitives are a powerful tool in the English language. Section 6. Verbs followed by gerunds, a handy list. As we've seen, some verbs are followed by gerunds. Here's a list of common verbs that are often followed by gerunds. Enjoy, she enjoys reading novels. Do you mind closing the window? Avoid, he avoids eating junk food. Finish, I finished writing my essay. Suggest, she suggested going for a walk. Admit, they admitted making a mistake. Deny, he denied stealing the money. I miss seeing my friends. Remember that this is not an exhaustive list, but it gives you a good starting point for understanding which verbs are typically followed by gerunds. Section 7. Verbs followed by infinitives, another helpful list. Just like with gerunds, some verbs are commonly followed by infinitives. Here is a list of verbs that are often followed by infinitives. Want, I want to travel the world. Need, she needs to study for her exam. Decide, they decided to move to a new city. Hope, we hope to see you soon. Plan, he plans to retire early. Agree, she agreed to help with the project. Offer, he offered to carry her bags. Promise, I promise to be careful. This list provides a useful reference for using infinitives correctly after specific verbs. Section 8. Tricky verbs, using both gerunds and infinitives. Some verbs can be followed by both gerunds and infinitives, but the meaning changes depending on which one you use. This can be a bit confusing for learners, but understanding the difference is crucial for mastering English grammar. These verbs can be a bit tricky, so let's look at some examples to clarify how the meaning changes. By examining these examples, you'll get a better grasp of how to use gerunds and infinitives correctly. Let's start with the verb stop. When followed by a gerund, as in, I stopped smoking, it means the person quit smoking completely. This indicates a permanent cessation of the activity. This means the person quit smoking completely. They have made a decision to give up the habit for good, which is often a significant and positive change in their life. Now consider the infinitive form, I stopped to smoke. This means the person paused what they were doing in order to smoke. The action of smoking is the reason for the pause, not the cessation of smoking itself. This means the person paused what they were doing in order to smoke. It's a temporary break from another activity, highlighting the difference in meaning when using the infinitive form. Another example is the verb remember. When followed by a gerund, as in I remember meeting him, it means the person has a memory of meeting someone in the past. This is a recollection of a past event. This means the person has a memory of meeting someone in the past. It's about recalling an event that has already happened, which is often associated with emotions and experiences. In contrast, the infinitive form, remember to lock the door, is a reminder to do something in the future. It's an instruction or a piece of advice to ensure that an action is completed. This is a reminder to do something in the future. It emphasizes the importance of remembering to perform a specific action at a later time, ensuring that it is not forgotten. These examples highlight how the meaning of a sentence can change depending on whether you use a gerund or an infinitive after certain verbs. Understanding these differences is key to mastering English grammar and improving your communication skills. By practicing and paying attention to these nuances, you'll become more confident in your use of the language. Section 9. Avoiding common mistakes with gerunds and infinitives. In this section, we will delve into some of the most common pitfalls learners face when dealing with gerunds and infinitives. Understanding these can significantly enhance your grasp of English grammar. Even native English speakers make mistakes with gerunds and infinitives, so don't worry if you find them confusing sometimes. It's a common challenge, but with a bit of practice and attention, you can master their usage. Let's explore some typical errors and how to avoid them. Here are a few common errors and how to avoid them. First, using an infinitive after a preposition. This is a frequent mistake. Remember, only gerunds can follow prepositions. This rule is crucial for constructing grammatically correct sentences. For example, using an infinitive after a preposition is incorrect. Incorrect. I'm interested in to learn Spanish. This sentence doesn't follow the rule and sounds awkward. Instead, you should use a gerund after the preposition. Correct. I'm interested in learning Spanish. This sentence is grammatically correct and sounds natural. Another common mistake is mixing gerunds and infinitives within the same list. Consistency is key when listing activities or actions. Mixing them can confuse the reader or listener. For instance, consider the sentence, incorrect. I enjoy swimming, reading, and to watch movies. This mix of gerunds and infinitives disrupts the flow and clarity of the sentence. To correct this, ensure all items in the list are in the same form. Correct. I enjoy swimming, reading, and watching movies. This maintains consistency and clarity. By paying attention to these common errors, you can improve your grammar and sound more fluent in English. Practice regularly, and soon these rules will become second nature to you. Remember, mastering gerunds and infinitives is a step towards achieving fluency. Keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Each error is an opportunity to learn and improve. Happy learning!